So let's talk about why I'm going to trade my new Ferris mower off with only 7 hours. Hey, welcome back to the channel. This is our life. We are going to mow today, and we're building a cabin, we're mowing, we're keeping up another property that on the other side of town. And I'm not whining, but it's a lot of stuff going on. This is what happened also when you have 12 days of rain in 17 days, perfectly scheduled out, and I'm talking like 7 inches of rain. We are overwhelmed, but it's gonna give us a great opportunity to test out the new Ferris. This is our ISX3300 Ferris, and this thing is freaking awesome. It's got 36 horsepower, it's 60-inch deck, full suspension, and let me tell you, it's got some voodoo in the suspension that whenever the wheel goes up, the deck tracks properly. Not sure how the magic works, but it does work, and that's all that really matters. All right, let's show you around the mower. So I want to have a heart-to-heart. We did a review between the Ferris 3300, the ISX 3300, and an X-Mark mower, I guess a couple of months ago, maybe a month and a half ago. And I got a lot of people that were just like, well, that suspension is never going to hold up. It's not any good. It's not worth doing. No commercial guy would ever use this mower. And the fact of the matter is that's just a bunch of malarkey. This thing is built like a tank. It's heavy built. It's heavy built as any commercial mower on the market. And I would go through and listen to the comments, and we exchanged a few comments back and forth. And I would ask the question, have you ever been on a Ferris? And the answer almost every time was no, I've never been on a Ferris. I'd like to thank Bob's Tractor Parts and Equipment for sponsoring this video. They carry the full line of Ferris mowers. Whether you're just mowing your yard or you're a full-time commercial mower, they have what you need. Don't miss towards the end of the video where I talk about why I changed out the IS700Z for the ISX3300. It's a good story. The ISX3300 is about 56 inches wide at the rear wheels, which really gives it a good stance, and it's very stable. You can see here as I'm mowing downhill that I just don't even worry about it. It's just very, very stable. This is the place that this big mower shines. This is a drop off here, and there's a large ditch in the middle of the wheels. I'm just skirting down the center of it. I did forget to lower my deck once I got down, but it still beats the tar out of weed eating. I come back later and got another run at this. So neighbor Chuck stopped by, and he took the ISX 3300 for a test drive. Now he has a pretty vast experience with zero-turn mowers, and his wife as well. They both, Darlene probably knows way more than I do about zero turns, and they were both very impressed with the mower. They also were both impressed with how much engine power it had with 36 horsepower. Just absolutely amazing. I gave Chuck about 10 seconds of class on the mower, and he was off. Just had no issue with it whatsoever. So let's talk about why I'm going to trade my new Ferris mower off with only 7 hours. So if you follow the channel, you know we bought this mower about, I don't know, 2 months ago. And then shortly after that, we did a review video between this mower, which is the Ferris IS700z, and a basically comparison video between the IS700z, the ISX3300z, which is the big 36 horsepower Ferris mower, and we did a Exmark commercial mower. It's a fine mower. It's really well built. But anyway, we did those comparisons, and up until the point that this is the first mower, the mower I got on this trailer right now is the first zero-turn mower I've ever used. Prior to this, my only experience was with mowing has always been with a tractor style mower, either a tractor like a lawn tractor or a subcompact mower. So we got the ISX or the IS700Z, and it has the 4-wheel suspension, and it was wonderful, just amazing for mowing. And during this, the first time we mowed with it, I was just absolutely amazed at how fast I can mow at 10 miles an hour, and my yard is horrible. One year I got my gooseneck and a diesel truck stuck in the front yard in the middle of the winter, rutted it all up. The reason why is after we did the review or the comparison between those three mowers, well, the big Ferris has full front wheel independent on the front. Both front wheels are completely independent, and the back wheel has a shock absorber spring suspension on the back. And everybody was like, well, that thing's not going to mow well because of all that. Well, I don't know what voodoo they've done to make it mow well, but it absolutely mows spot on. It's awesome. You set the gauge at 3.5 inches, you're going to mow at 3.5 inches. And when we did the Exmark mower, we would run across these rough patches, and I literally, the lawnmower, you know, it says it'll mow at 10 miles an hour, and you know, obviously that's under perfect conditions, but I'm trying to mow my yard fast, do a fair comparison, which was just wide open on every mower. The IS700 zero turn, it did great because it has suspension like this where the axles will go back and forth. And then that was the first one I did, and it did, you know, really great. Then I did the X-Mark, which is a solid suspension. The only thing you have is a really nice seat. It does have a nice seat, but it just doesn't have any kind of suspension, and it jarred the living tar out of me. I mean, it just was horrible. My back, it just, you know, just every time you hit a hard bump, it just takes your spine and just collapses it. And so that one was, you know, that wouldn't have ever been an option for me anyway. Then I got on the ISX3300 zero turn professional mower, 36 horsepower, just stupid fast, 12 miles an hour mowing. And the thing is, because it has full independent front suspension, it will mow at 12 miles an hour on level ground. It will just flat out haul. And the 36 horsepower, it's just even, you just don't have like bog issues. Even normal mowing on my mower does really well. The IS700z, the 27 horsepower. It's a great mower, a lot of power, way more than anything you're going to find at any box store. Well, 36 horsepower is unbelievable. Well, I called my dealer up and said, look, you know, I brought the mowers back, and then I mowed my yard again after mowing with the 3300. And I told him, I said, you know what, I kind of hate you a little bit. He said, what do you mean? I said, well, I said, Bob, you let me test that 3300, and up until that point, I had no idea what I was missing. The fact is the 3300 with the full independent suspension is a life changer. And I can only imagine if you are a professional mower, someone who goes around every day and mows, the suspension will save your body. And in the last comparison video, I did get a lot of comments, and the comments were like, well, that suspension is going to wear out. You know, it's overbuilt ridiculously. The suspension is just, it's built like a tractor, you know, it's that thick of metal. But the fact of the matter is, if you have to rebuild the front end of the mower every 7 years, who cares when you take that into account? The lack, your body's not going to be abused for 7 years if you are using that type of mower. The suspension is completely robust. I have no doubt that it will last, especially if you take care of it, grease it, clean it, keep it washed. It will last you for years. Especially me, it's gonna last me the rest of my life, I have no doubt. But for you guys that are doing professional mowing, you get stuck on a specific brand of mower, and it's been reliable for you, and I get that. You know, there's a loyalty about, you know, something that you believe in. But I've had so many people that just, it's like, that suspension is horrible, it's never gonna last, it mows terrible. I showed a video where it actually mowed wonderful, and it out mowed one of the premium commercial mowers on the market. And people would still complain and say, like, that front suspension is no good. And then I would ask them, have you ever been on one? No, they never tried one, so they automatically ruled it out because it's somehow, I think it's something in our psyche where we don't want to be wrong. And you know, as a man, I totally get that. But so we buy this or buy that, and we stand by it no matter if it's wrong or right, because if we don't, then we're wrong, and that's terrible for some reason. Let me tell you what, you guys that are doing commercial mowing and you don't have full suspension under you, you're wrong. I'm just saying it right now. And I'm not talking about that little seat thing that bobbles up and down. I'm talking about front wheel suspension, rear wheel suspension, where you hit the bump, you're not damaging the engine compartment. The engine compartment, the place that I sit in is smooth. And you know, that is what I'm talking about. All the components of the engine, all the components about, they're not getting hammered, bouncing up and down like they do on pretty much all the other commercial mowers on the market. If you've not tried a suspension mower like the Ferris mower is, then you probably shouldn't make comments, because it's just, the simple fact is It's superior in every way. Well, that's my story. That's why I ended up trading out to a 3300. The demo that I had, it was a brand new demo, and it was a demo model, and it's got about the same amount of hours as mine on. I talked with my dealer and told him, Bob, my dealer is Bob from Bob's Tractor Parts and Equipment in McEwen, Tennessee. If you guys are interested, this guy's a great dude. And he's like, look, let's trade you into this demo. So we did some wheeling and dealing ourselves, and we come to an agreement that we both could agree on. So he said, come get you 3300. And I'm going over there now. Somebody's going to get a freshly serviced IS700z, because I just, at 5 hours, I changed the oils, just like the manual said, did all the filters, everything, greased it, the whole 9 yards. So that is my story, and that is how we are getting the ISX3300 36 horsepower, bad to the bone mower. All right, let's show you around the mower. Oh, crap, I stepped on the wheel. I almost killed myself getting off. All right, I'm shook up now.